Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So I'll just make a quick video on how to get started in coding in 2022, and it's easier than you think. There's lots of free resources out there, and I think the best resources I'm going to help you find just in this video. And I should imagine everything I show you here, if you just follow that, it should be enough not only to get you enough knowledge, but also get you to the point where you can apply for jobs. It's all about you at the end of the day, but you can learn this stuff. I'm just going to quickly go through the resources with you. So the first one I would use is Free Code Camp. That's this web link up here. You'll need to sign in, but once you do that, you'll be able to then do all the courses. So you can do front end, back end, full stack, depending on what kind of developer you want to be. It'll be very specific to you. Do you like the visual aspect of development? Do you like the backend, which is very data driven? Or do you like everything? So are you someone who likes to do front end and a bit of back end, and that's a full stack developer? So it'll all come down to what you prefer to do in terms of development. I like front end, I like the visual aspects, but I do like a bit of back end. So again, it'll all come down to your personal preferences. So Free Code Camp is the best resource I would say to use without a doubt. There's videos on YouTube which are full tutorials, but it can, they're about 4 hours long, so it could be a bit overwhelming. So just remember, guys, you'll need to learn HTML, CSS, and then JavaScript. So I'll move on to my second resource, which is Udemy. That's right. Why spend thousands of pounds when you can just go to Udemy and learn something for like 15, £16? So the course I did was the Web Development Bootcamp 2022. It wasn't 22 when I bought it, it's 22 now, it's been updated. So this will be a great course, and it covers everything from HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Node, which is kind of like backend. It also covers React, so that's really important. You definitely want to learn something like React, because a lot of jobs, I get emails about jobs, I see job postings all the time, and it's usually like for a React developer, or if it's not a React developer, a front end developer job, it'll have React in the description of the job, or React for one of them. So definitely try and learn at least one library or a framework, but I would say React is probably it's low learning curve. Once you understand JavaScript, you could probably move on to something like React. Sorry guys if you don't really know the programming languages, but yeah, you'll have HTML, which you should start with. You start with HTML, you then move on to CSS, and then you'll do JavaScript. That's the way you'll need to learn it if you're going to do the front end. And I'd say the back end, you'll still need to learn these things anyway. It's just the cornerstone of development. So again, if you're planning on learning web development in 2022, I would go to Free Code Camp, sign up, do their courses. There's more than enough content there. Once you're confident in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, once you know all three of those and you can build a project, I would then move on to things like maybe building responsive landing pages, because that's something you're doing a real job. I would then go on to build maybe more websites and more landing pages, because at the end of the day, you need all the experience you can get. I would then, with JavaScript, because JavaScript is going to be probably what your interview is based around, I would do data structures and algorithms. But before that, I would maybe build little projects like random number generators. These are just things that are going to get you familiar with the language at the end of the day. Once you understand HTML and CSS, you can then move on to JavaScript. Once you get to JavaScript, you can build some side projects, like maybe like build a game, build a number generator. Once you're confident in that, move on to something like React or Vue, whatever one you decide to do it with. Once you know React and you can build a project from beginning to end without having to watch a tutorial, that's probably the point when you're ready to apply for jobs. And it would just depend on the company. Like when I did an interview, it was more based on it was based on React. It wasn't for a React job, it was for a JavaScript developer, but the interview covered React. So I mean, be ready for that. Be ready that you might go to an interview that's just for something like a JavaScript developer or a front end developer, and the questions are going to relate around something like React. And if you don't understand React, it could be quite difficult to obviously answer the questions when they're going to ask you to fix something in React. So so that's just my advice, everyone. That's how I would do it if I was starting out again. I would go and do I would go to Free Code Camp. I would work on some of the projects there, work on some of the stuff there, get familiar with HTML, CSS. Once I'm kind of down with those things, I would move on to JavaScript immediately, because that will take the bulk of your time. You'll learn HTML, CSS maybe in a few days. JavaScript could take you weeks, could take you months, depending on how much time you put into it. Then once you've learned all of that, move on to React. React's not much different from JavaScript. It's basically like JSX. It's all kind of based on JavaScript anyway, so don't be too nervous about it. The jump between JavaScript and React is not massive. It's not going to be like the jump from HTML to CSS, because they're completely different things. So thanks guys. If you enjoyed my video, please like, subscribe. I will bring out some coding videos, just basic React stuff. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm still kind of in the beginning of my channel. But yeah, get any questions, just post it in the comments, and I'll always kind of respond to like questions in the comments. But yeah, once again, if you're happy to spend a bit of money, don't spend thousands. Don't go to boot camps. If you're going to go to a boot camp, make sure you understand everything about that boot camp. The amount of people I know who have left boot camps because they're either too intense, they take you away from actual working, so you're not making an income. So again, if you can afford to do a boot camp, then good on you. But it's very intense, and there's no guarantees you're going to get a job after a boot camp. But again, what I would say is if you want to spend a bit of money, maybe like £15, £16, I don't know how much that would be in dollars, go and do a course like this. It's by Colt Steele. It's fairly easy. Well, I say easy. Obviously, it's just videos. You watch the videos, you code along. You'll need to then take that knowledge and build your own ones. But you will make real applications. They'll have front end and back end. It's kind of all in this small little package. So it's encapsulated into this course. If I was doing it all over again, I would just do this course. Maybe spend 2 or 3 months doing this, build all the projects, build the main one, which is like the Yelp camp, and then move on and build your own version of Yelp camp. Like, how fun would that be? Like, build your own version. It's like this kind of campsite website, a bit like Airbnb for campsite. So you could build your own one. An employer would probably be really impressed if you could do that. It's got a front end and a back end. But again, sorry, I don't want my video to go on too long. I just wanted to basically point all those things out. So once again, Free Code Camp, just go ahead, follow the courses, decide what you want to be, front end, full stack, back end, and this will help you do that. You'll be able to pick this back end development, there's JavaScript algorithms, there's responsive web design, and they've got everything you could want here. And then once you don't need to finish these, and then you can move on to Udemy if you want to. And if you don't, you could just go to something like dev.to and just search for like HTML, and you'll get lots of like templates and code alongs and how to create a page with HTML. It's really, really, really easy, and there's hundreds of YouTube videos on this stuff. So, once again, just like and subscribe. Thanks a lot, guys. That's me out.